I'm gonna tell you guys exactly why anyone who's buying for their first sport bike a 600 or anything faster, you're wasting your money and it's actually hurting your riding ability. Cue the intro. Guys, I'm here with my newest friend, Kawasaki Ninja 400. Now this is actually a $399 and this fits perfectly in that lightweight category to race with all the other bikes in that same category, the RC390 and the R3 and stuff. This actually has more power than both of them, you know, by 2 or 3 more horsepower than both of them. And it only weighs about 2 pounds heavier than the previous 300. So this is a twin cylinder motor and has 45 horsepower at 10,000 RPMs, which is pretty incredible. The cool thing about the lightweight sport bike class is they're getting all the cool stuff that the bigger, faster bikes are getting. I mean, make no mistake, this is a race bike. This has standard ABS, standard slipper clutch. These things are fast, they're quick, and they handle incredibly well. For people who want to get into going fast, they want to become better riders, they want to be a good, skilled rider and not just like look cool, this is the bike that you need to start on. And this is the bike you need a track day. These things are awesome bikes. You won't be spending all your time trying to handle and deal with the too much power. You'll be learning how to be a good rider. A misconception that people have with these bikes is that, oh, it's a 400, it's super small. Well, let's compare it to a 1000. So here's the only 1000 I had in the shop, 2007 Gsxr 1000. And when you first hop on it, it definitely weighs a whole lot more. It also is closer to 170 horsepower. It's a big bike, very fast, performs very well. But in terms of actual size, you know, you can see they're very similar. And this one has a little bit smaller of a tank. This thing weighs basically nothing compared to that bike. But the ergonomics are very similar. I'm 6'2", and I would be more than happy to jump on a bike like this and then shred it up on the track. I mean, these things are a blast to drive. Don't look down upon these bikes. I'm really serious, because the second you look down and you start snubbing your nose on bikes like this, you're gonna get smoked by one of these guys who learn how to ride one of these well. And then when he jumps on a bike like that, it's all over. And one more thing, if you are running one of these, like either one of these bikes hard, okay, the biggest expense you're gonna get for tracking or running a bike like that hard is tires. You're gonna destroy a rear tire in one track session. These tires are cheap, real cheap. So it's definitely a cheaper way to get on the track, go fast, and have a blast. All right, guys, let's do a test drive. It's my first time test driving this. I'm super pumped to bring you guys on board. Come on. All right, guys, before we do the test drive, let's do the words of wisdom. Real quick one, Matthew 5:9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. We should absolutely be peacemakers. We're called to be making peace. All right, guys. This is my first time riding this bike. I do like these bikes. A brief history about the Kawasaki had the Ninja 250 from like 1987. The same bike to like 2007. Like, what is that? 20 years? It was insane. You would see like some 2007, be like, wow, what is that, 1990? They're like, no, it's 2007. The exact same bike, carbureted, everything. It was crazy. And then in 08, it was apparently like the same engine, basically same engine, but new body style, so it looked really cool. And then since then, they've done a couple changes, and now they're at the 400. But they were the only guys. They were the only, and it was like their best-selling bike, because they were like the only company making a, 200. I really do. I like these bikes. I do think it's super wise. I love seeing guys come in and, as their first sport bike, they buy one of these and they learn how to ride. They learn how to become good, well-adjusted riders. And listen, these things are not slow, by no means. They're not slow, but yeah, compared to their big brother, 600 or 1000 counterparts, yeah, okay, they are slow. But these things are a blast, and the other bikes are a handful, where it's more just like you're just trying to deal with the excessive power and trying to keep it on the road with this, you can actually worry about the fundamentals of riding a motorcycle, riding a sport bike, and learn how to be a good, quality, well-adjusted, fast rider. I've seen way too many people. Here's some anecdotal evidence. I've seen way too many people. I've always ridden a 600 on the track. My 07 Gsxr 600. And I look back and I'm like, you know, I would have been happy with like an SV 650 or RC 390 or something like this, because I'm out there passing people on, you know, 1299 Ducatis because they have way too much bike, and I'm probably having more fun than they are because they're getting passed by, you know, guys on 600s. And then there's been a time where there was a guy on the track. He had an RC 390. He was in my same category, and he passed me with a bunch of leader bikes. And that's when I realized, I was like, all right, I probably never need to get a faster bike. I just need to become a faster rider. Because even though a bigger bike will smoke this thing on the straightaways, it's not all straightaways. It's all about the corners. And if you can keep corner speed and into the corner and out of the corner, and it can handle better, you can throw it down faster, you'll be a faster rider. You know, on the track, it's not about how fast you are from here to there. It's about how fast you are from here back to there, back to the same spot you started from. It's all about lap time. And it's kind of embarrassing to be riding, you know, a big, fat, big, super strong leader bike that when you're on the street, you're like, I smoke everything around me. And then you go to the track and some guy riding this, who knows what he's doing, who learned the fundamentals, and is not concerned about just full-blown big acceleration, he can smoke you on that bike. Now when it comes to like nimbleness and performance, not like nimbleness and handling, this is, the term we use is flickable. You just flick this into the corner, throw it in there. And it's a very appropriate, it's an extremely appropriate, you know, characteristic or terminology. Love these bikes. These things are a blast to drive. I'm always trying to talk people out of buying faster bikes. Just, you know, get them when you're ready. They have their place. Trust me, they have their place. But you're missing out. You're honestly missing out on a lot of talent, on a lot of just learning how to be a good skilled rider with a bike like this. And you can do all the fun stuff. You know, we can drop down, we can do wheelies. Let's drop down, let's see if we can do a wheelie. Now that popped up a little easier than I thought it would. We'll do that again later. I'll just try to ride it. But if you want to impress people who are riding a wheelies, this bike can do it. It can clutch up a wheelie. What it's not going to do, it's not going to accidentally come up because you give it a little too much throttle and you were too fast on letting go of the clutch. Here's the big test. What is it going to do in 0 to 60? I think you guys might be a little bit surprised. Every time you brake, especially when you brake heavy, you're not just looking forward. In your peripheral, you're looking in your rearview mirror to make sure no one's going to come up and rear end you. That's safe motorcycling 101. All right, so when you're trying to launch a bike like this, high RPMs. There. I gotta admit, guys, that was an awesome launch. That felt so good. I really felt like I nailed it on that first launch, where I put all the power to the ground. It didn't spin. The front end came up a little bit. I think that launch right there could beat bikes much faster than it with riders who are having a hard time controlling the excess of power. That's another thing that's fun about a bike like this. It's like the Miata of motorcycles. Now a lot of you guys, big muscle car guys, are like, oh, Miatas are dumb. Go ride one. Go ride one, and you realize that these things, they're actually a lot of fun. They're actually a blast to drive, and if you take it to a situation where you can actually push it to the limits, it's a different feeling where you have a Miata and you're and you can run it at 100%. You can take a corner, you know, you can go, you know, all out in first, all out in second, all out in third, and then take it in the next corner as fast as you possibly can. There's something about that where you're squeezing every last inch of performance out of that car. And then it's all about you honing up on your skills and honing up on lines and honing up on braking points and stuff like that. That's how you become a better rider. Not when you've got the fastest vehicle out there and you're just trying to keep it on the road because it's all over the place. Oh man, we've had some beautiful weather around here. Guys, that wraps it up. We will see you guys later. If you guys are wondering what kind of gloves I'm wearing, I am wearing the M1 Moto gloves. These are tested and they've come out as strong gloves. These are the only gloves I wear. Look in the link below at bikesandbeardsgear.com to buy your set of M1 Moto gloves. These are really tough gloves. They also work with iPhones and touchscreens and stuff like that. We'll see you guys later. Don't forget, it's not what you're riding, but where you're going.